So all ideas behind the drink is we try to use all ingredients which you might have for your breakfast, like cereals, orange, milk, chocolate. So it's sort of funky style, and it's very enjoyable and easy to drink.
World Martini Day started, I think 5 or 6 years ago, to my knowledge, but it only really recently has become a bigger and bigger event each year, and it's a great time to stop and look at one of the world's most iconic cocktails and celebrate it. It's a cocktail that has inspired books, inspired films. Some of the world's best bartenders pride themselves on how they make their martini cocktail, and so it's a good time to take a step back and think, hey, how do I like mine?
I definitely think people have become much more educated in what they're drinking, about the products out there. At the moment, there's so much choice, and I think people have really kind of started learning and investigating what they like and not just going for maybe the obvious choices. So I think that's definitely the biggest trend. I think alcohol is much more accessible and people know much, much more about it, as maybe they did certainly when I started making drinks.
It brings a completely different experience to the bar. It's more a bespoke service. So we come to the table, we literally tailor the martini up to you. We ask you what gin you like, what vodka you like, what vermouth you like, and what garnish as well. So it can be lime, lemon, and orange, and then it's up to you. It's like making a perfume from scratch.
Martini cocktails in general were well, historically were really at their heyday, maybe in the 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s. That's when that kind of culture of drinking this really dry style of drink followed the culture that came before it. And before it, drinks were quite sweet. There's a lot of whiskey pre-prohibition specifically. And drinks were even the predecessor to the martini cocktail, which is called the Martinez. It's a gin drink with vermouth, but they put sugar in it. They put maraschino, which is like a cherry liqueur. So a really different drink than the drink that we now know today. Nobody wants to drink the drink that your parents drank. And so if you're from that generation that you saw your parents having martini parties and all of that, you're like, I'm going to go somewhere completely different. And we saw this kind of influx of drinks with juices and liqueurs and colorful and very different styles of cocktails. And then, only recently, since maybe the early 2000s, the idea of celebrating this drink came back and people started, again, offering it in services just like we saw here today at the Ned, trolleys, and making a bit more of a theater around this great drink. It's the most complex but the simplest drink in many ways.
So basically we keep balsamic vinegar in a barrel for 6 months, and then we fill it up with the Gibson Martini cocktail or the Martini cocktail. We serve it with the aged balsamic onions as well. These are apple cider balsamic onions, which are roasted, and there's a dash of truffle oil on the top. And we also serve it with the shaved Parmesan cheese by the side, just to complement the flavor and push out the strength of the alcohol afterwards.
So we usually stir for about 20 to 40 seconds. We have the normal martini, we have vermouth and spirit. In this case, we're using Grey Goose. And then we add our homemade champagne liqueur. So to make a champagne liqueur, we use, again, Grey Goose vodka.
as the base with some more fruit, and then we had some sugar just to give it a little sweetener. We cook it overnight in a water bath, and then we add it to the drink. So in that case, you've got the champagne in 2 different ways into the drink, so you have as much flavor as possible. And there we go, guys. That's it.
When James Bond drinks a martini, and if you look back at the films and read the books, he is always downing the drink in like 2 sips. And if you're gonna drink that drink quickly, the way he does, and then go and kill someone else or sleep with someone else, you should almost always have it shaken, because when you shake a martini, all the ice is moving around, and that flakes off into little ice flakes. And that makes the drink super cold immediately afterwards. But as the drink sits, there's a lot more water in the drink and more dilution. So the drink gets warmer and warmer much faster. A stirred martini cocktail will stay much colder, much longer. So if you're gonna drink it the way Bond does, quick and move on, go ahead and have it shaken. But if you, like me, wanna savor the drink it slowly. I think there was a great poet who said, drink it slowly while it's laughing at you. Then definitely drink it this way, have it stirred, so you can savor it.
So the glass is connected in the middle, on the bottom, so no matter which side or which